Some people call this man a thug. Some people call this man a gangster. Some people call this man a law-abiding citizen. Some people might say he's a good mayor. But let's see what the people of Chicago have to say about their mayor.
You always want to use black people in your press conferences, but don't do nothing for black people in Chicago.
But I know it's a gangster in this room, a criminal, one that thinks that he is above the law, that he can dictate the law.
When it comes to people like you, Brandon Johnson, black people like you, who sit up here and think you're going to bully us.
All right, y'all. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you're tuning in.
And let me tell y'all this right now. That mayor of Chicago, the only reason you would make yourself an enemy to Trump to that capacity, we're from Chicago, we don't care about you, and then to try to put black people in with immigrants, and which, come on, bro. No immigrants' kids have had to be hanged from a tree. No fucking Mexican had to fight or get bit by fucking cops just to vote. No fucking Mexican was ever a slave to these motherfucking white people and had to have their wife raped in front of them. Men raped. Let's not forget, bro. They are not slaves. Alright? But the only way a mayor or anybody of power would go against Donald Trump or the presidency on an executive order, once he makes it an executive order, only reason you wouldn't obey is if you have stake in the matter. That Chicago mayor, he's doing something illegal with those Mexicans in Chicago. I don't know what he's doing, whether it's guns, whether it's drugs. The only way you would go against a nation who doesn't want these fucking people in here, who doesn't want our tax money, is if you're eating in some way, shape, or form off of these people. Whether the cartel is helping you, whether the gangs are helping you, or whether the coyotes are giving you money, whoever is helping this Chicago mayor will be exposed. You will be exposed. Because there's no way a black man of intelligence who's had to climb his way to the top in Congress will go against a president unless he's a dirty motherfucking politician. His stakes is already in it. His stakes is already in it. He's crooked. He's just like that other black mayor from that other town, the woman. I think she was from Chicago too.
I'm grateful to have you here, and we got a doozy today because Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is on the hot seat. I mean, I know he basically started off with toasty cheeks ever since stepping in to replace Beetlejuice Lightfoot, I think a year or so ago. Still, that's no excuse for the wonky decisions that he's made. The latest being a proposal to increase property taxes by over $300 million. Yeah, that seems like a real genius idea for a city that's already in debt by the billions. You want to talk about delusional and out of touch? That's Democratic leadership for you, and that extends all the way up the ladder to the Biden-Harris regime. But this dude is special. I mean, he needs to get fired ASAP. Thankfully, in the meantime, he's getting his butt handed to him with warnings and truth bombs from some extremely ticked off residents, rightfully so. So I'm going to let the video roll and then give my 1 cent on the back end. Let's get it popping.
I came in here because I wanted my life back. And
I'm not going to lie, I did not know that this was homie's video. So what we gonna do? We gonna shout him out.
Behold, wow.
Shout out.
The answers that I've gotten. But you, sir, said also the other day that the presidency of Trump disrupts black Americans. It doesn't. You disrupt black Americans. Your workforce development scheme with Michael David Rodriguez, your immigration scheme with Vasquez, and your housing scheme with Cjo Lopez. You a criminal.
What the fuck did I tell you? What the fuck did I tell you? There's no way a mayor would go against Trump, especially a black mayor, bro. A black anybody, bro. Unless you're a Democrat. And this is what I mean, bro. No white man would go against Trump. I don't mean to say any black man, because I'm talking about black men. I'm not talking about niggas. Black men. These are men of integrity. These are men who've worked hard. These are men who understand what's wrong from right. Right? These are men who are not gonna Judas the he's not gonna Judas the systems we have in place. He's not gonna betray the systems we have in place for his own gains. You know what I'm saying? That black mayor, like I said, unless he has stakes with those cartels, unless he has stakes with those fucking immigrants, there's no way anybody would go against Trump. Trump is like God sent. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Jesus Christ sent this man to save y'all. And I mean it. If you look at Canada, if you look at Britain, if you look at the UK, we were about to become them. We were this close. This close. Oh my gosh. And to know that your country's been saved by a president who's not going to take any bullshit from anybody. Your American pride should be, like, my American pride is boiling right now. I'm ready to go to the border. Only thing that's holding me back is I got 2 dogs and I can't leave them out here. I got to find a way to ship them out there with me. Bro, I'm ready to go. Whether the cartels want it, whether the immigrants want it, whether the coyotes want it, I'm ready. You understand? My American patriarchy heart. I said that all wrong, but y'all understand. It's bumping. It's bumping. I'm ready to go. Anybody threatens Texas, anybody threatens Arizona, anybody threatens Colorado, I'm gonna fuck you up. But like I said, only way to go against Trump is if you have stakes in the matter.
You should be investigated by the IG, but I know it's a gangster in this room, a criminal, one that thinks that he is above the law, that he can dictate the law. Y'all want to be relevant, but I'm telling you, the people in the city of Chicago need good representation. They need a representation that don't lean towards corruption. They need a representation that don't use people because they think they can. And you and them people over there, y'all pledge to serve us, not Cotton Zara, not a personal interest, but y'all do. And you can smirk all you want.
Mr. Sims, direct your attention towards me, please.
You're a criminal. Why do I got to address you? The feds need to address you. DOJ need to address you, and hopefully Donald Trump will address you. Because you're going to protect the undocumented. Why you going to allow for the citizens in Chicago to suffer under your, 33%? You and C.J. Lopez cooked that 3% up a long time ago. Y'all called it a circuit breaker. Y'all been talked about it. Remember, before you came in here and gave that jovial speech, you need to be inspected. You and that creep over there.
Sergeant at Arms, please restore order, please.
Stock market's about to be open in 10 minutes.
Thank you, Sergeant at Arms, for restoring order. I would kindly and respectfully ask that this body and those that are here.
You know what's in your cheap protein powder? Well, here to tell us is all-natural fitness athlete Paul Sklar.
All right, let's see what we've got. Sucralose.
To observe government, to come back to order and allow the police and anyone else who can help address that situation and bring it under control. In the meantime, order has been restored.
What you just saw with Sam's is where you want all of us to be. You want all of us to be stock rate out our minds. You want us to feel pressed against the wall. You want us to feel helpless. You want us to feel hopeless.
And that's the thing about Chicago. Chicago is so embedded with Hispanics that once you decide to go to war against these people, you got to understand what you're doing. let's say I'm a politician, right? That black leader in charge, the mayor of Chicago. Once I decide to go to war, I gotta understand I'm going to war with the cartel, who have special forces. I'm going against the gangs, who have also intelligent shooters. The way that they do hits, the cartels and Hispanic gang members is different than most black gangs. Individual black people, that's a whole different story. But for most part, this is not a drive-by shooting. They're going to target you. They're going to stalk you. They're going to wait for the right opportunity. So I believe it's not just trying to do the right thing. I believe he's also afraid to do the right thing. He's afraid to, say no, fuck all of you. If you're not here to abide by law, they need a motherfucking black man. And we haven't had a black man in a fucking while. I mean, we know him. We see him every now and then. He's one of those no-nonsense black men. He does not play, and he's upright. He's full of integrity. Bro, this man does not play, bro. That's what we need in Chicago. He'll be Trump's sword, while the border czar can be Trump's shield. And together we protect America, black and white. Getting back our country. Let's fucking go.
Want to see us turn on one another? But there's some real ones out here. And we gonna stick together. But when it comes to people like you, Brandon Johnson, black people like you, who sit up here and think you gonna bully us, that's why everybody coming after you now.
Good afternoon.
I want to know, how does it feel that Trump is in office right now?
Feel good, baby.
You see the Mayor Brandon Johnson, you underestimate us. You underestimate the black people, and you underestimate Chicago Red.
And that sucks that black people that come into power, whoever it is that immediately goes to those black people and turns them, bro, it is fucking wicked. The whole Democratic Party has to be washed out. Oh my goodness. This is like, once black people get into office, they turn so quick. They turn so motherfucking quick.
Thorn in your side, and we're going to be in a thorn on everybody else in this council member side too. If you don't stop what you're doing, we're going to take matters in our own hand, and we're going to stop it. When you took ShotSpotter off after the DNC, more shots have been committed. Do you know how many people got shot and killed? 20. One was a police officer, and he was doing his duty. And then some maniac over here wanted to shoot him dead, cold-blooded and stuff. So my thoughts and prayers to the family of that Chicago police officer, Rob Hand.
Black men, the one thing, it would take a lot for us to shoot a cop. Hispanic gangs out there in Chicago don't give a fuck. Those Hispanic motherfuckers in Texas, they don't give a fuck. Black men, we care because we know. We don't give a fuck about the pig. We give a fuck about the time that's going to come from me cracking this motherfucking pig in the head. But Hispanics? Woo.
But Brandon Johnson, I'm going to say this to you once. I'm not going to repeat myself again. If you don't stop this madness, not only are we going to come after your seat, but guess what? The worst news is Trump assigned Matt Gaetz as the AG. Once he come in after you, he going to sit up here and audit all this money that you've been spending on these illegals at the barbershop on the south side that didn't have no money so far from you and stuff. So why? I know what's going to happen. You're going to go down to the press conference, beat your chest up, and then you're going to talk all that smack. And then you're going to say, if a black man have not had the opportunity like a white man. But guess what? I'm a black man, and I don't see at you. I see through you. And I see the lies that you have been saying since you became office. We had enough problem with Lori Lightfoot, and now she's out because of racism. So when we vote you out, which racism are you going to address? White racism or black racism? You feel you cannot figure out what the lesser of the two evil will be. So guess what's going to happen? You know that Trump had pulled 45% of the voter in the state of Illinois, 37 in the city of Chicago. That's the statistic. That means that Illinois is turning purple. We're going to turn red. And for some of these city councilmen member, I warn you, do not sit with Brandon Johnson. We're going to get them seats.
I'm going to start with what you said, Tuesday?
We're going to defend the people of this city. Because look, his attack, let's be very clear, the president-elect, former President Trump, his threat is not just towards new arrivals and undocumented families. His threats are also against black families.
And this is when black men, I don't give a fuck if all of America's white men said, all of you niggas go to Africa. Any white man that came in my fucking lawn would have got fucking struck down. Do you know what my people have been through on this fucking land called the United States? Documented and undocumented, known and unknown. Are you stupid? I wouldn't go back to Africa. When I'm rich, I'll go back to Africa. What motherfucker you? What?
He has a vision to destroy public education. So when he talks about Project 20...
Public education. Again, this is the same man who shut down the black schools, but then opened them up for the immigrants. This is the same mayor who said, we have to shut down the schools because we have no money. Somebody's been giving them money.
2025 and dismantling public education. We're talking about a system that has been designed to create leveling opportunities for families who are descendants of slaves. Surely going to...
You always want to use black people in your press conferences, but don't do nothing for black people in Chicago. You already know why I'm here, and I've been coming here for a year. Before I even knew who you was as a mayor, you was dipping off, going to sides when I was out there protesting. You have corporate counsel right next to you, Mary Richardson Lowry, who has no idea what she's doing, because if she would have told you to settle my case. Okay? So yeah, you can look the other way and roll your eyes and do all that stuff, but you do not care about the black Chicago citizens. Okay, you're trying to push this socialist agenda in this capitalist society. In 2019, when you was head leadership with CTU, y'all did a little GoFundMe and went over to Venezuela because y'all already knew what y'all were going to...
They went where? They went where? They went where?
GoFundMe and went over to Venezuela.
Oh, this motherfucker. He went to Venezuela. Oh, shit. He started a GoFundMe, went to Venezuela. Now he's embedded with these fucking immigrants talking about you cannot touch these people. This motherfucker is like the kingpin of cocaine or something. He's either the kingpin of Hispanics or the kingpin of fucking cocaine in Chicago. And we already know what's coming out of Venezuela. So I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. And if you don't know what's coming out of Venezuela, you better look up those Venezuela gangs that's taking over our fucking apartments in what is it, Colorado? Somewhere out there.
Because y'all already knew what y'all were going to do with bringing them all over here, right? So you're pushing this agenda with the illegal immigrants because y'all done stole all their money because you thought that after that $51 million that the feds gave you back then, that Biden was going to keep sending y'all money. But as you know, Biden is the real racist. The one that y'all say Trump is, Biden been racist.
Biden openly said niggas are stupid and It's crazy the shit that Biden said, bro. And it's crazy that blacks have been fooled to vote Democrat for 200 years. For 50 years strong, even in the black community now, they believe that Democrats are the savior. Democrats can do no wrong. How wrong are the black community? How wrong they are. When the Ku Klux Klan comes from the fucking Democrat Party. And ask any dumb nigga if he knows that or she. She doesn't.
Biden been racist for a long time. He just popped up with Obama as the vice president.
And how many of these black motherfuckers in America, whether you're a woman or a man, how many of them know that our first representation in Congress, they weren't fucking Democrats. They were Republican. So how is it that all of a sudden, come on, man.
And everybody just forgot. Okay, you have no idea how how to govern. 2026, 2027, we're going to get you out, Tony Preckwinkle out, JB Pritzker out.
Hell no, y'all can't wait. No, hell no, hell fucking no. He needs to get out now. What the fuck are y'all talking? Yo, Tommy G needs to investigate this dude. Anytime he investigates a mayor, a couple months later, they end up goddamn paying the price. Somebody needs to get Tommy G to investigate this motherfucker. If y'all wait a year or two to get this man out, Chicago's done for.
Raul out, and probably half of the disgrace 50 out too. And the disgrace 50 is the alderman. Okay? My case should have been settled. They stealing black people's property and land in the city of Chicago, and they've been doing it for a very long time. Okay? Majority of the people that work for the city of Chicago and Cook County are realtors or part of real estate agents. That is a conflict of interest. So that's why y'all keep stealing our property and our lands. And y'all think that it's going to be okay and it's going to keep happening. It's not going to happen. It's not going to keep happening. We have a new Department of Justice, and it's going, and at the end of the day, we have people that are running for office.
I don't know about y'all, but that was gooder than chick.
I gave my thoughts throughout the whole thing, but let's shout out bro real quick. Shout out to Devin, 1.3 million followers, doing your thing, man. I didn't know that this was your video. But thanks for this, man. Anyways. Chicago cannot wait 2 years to get that man out of office. He can't. He cannot wait to get that man out of office. Y'all be good, and let's keep on caring about politics. Let's change the narrative. They say never talk about politics and religion. Well, let's always talk about politics and religion because that's what seems to be governing people and governing our country. Let's get it.